Hello. Hi. How you doing? Yeah, welcome to episode 2 of Scrubbed In Podcast, the NUMSA edition. And I'm so happy to have you here with me again. So today is a very interesting, this episode is so interesting to me because we get to hear from our applicants. Oh my God, I've been excited for this for so long because I've really wanted us to, hear from them because all we've been seeing are just flyers, posters, so and so write-offs. We don't even know where the write-offs are coming from. Are they even chat GPT generated? Who knows? But then this time around, we had to, make sure that okay, let's actually go to the source. Let's go to them. Let's interview them. No, and let's hear from them spontaneously. So every single person in this episode that is speaking that we interviewed, we did not, let them know the question earlier. We just came in, told them we wanted to interview them, gave them a little time to, relax themselves, and we dropped our questions hot, and they responded. I have to say, every single person delivered, answered my questions very nicely. I was able to, also learn a lot about the vision they have for us. So you're going to listen to your presidential aspirants on both parties. I call teams parties, so please let me rest, okay? I beg. So I believe for each party we have the presidential candidates interview, which is about 3 minutes long. Then we have the vice presidential candidates, both internal and external, very short interviews. And then for the other posts, we asked each of them one question, the same question. So what we did is that we basically asked your questions to both people. So based off of their responses, who you feel like answered it in a way that it satisfied you, that is what we want you to take from this. So I'm really excited for you guys to listen to this because I believe that it was so wonderfully done. So before I leave, I would like to take some time to, tell you all that no matter who you are rooting for, maybe because based on you have friends in one party or you have colleagues in one party, try to keep an open mind but before you listen to this interviews, so that I believe having an open mind, even if it doesn't change your mind or it doesn't, at least it will make you understand the other person better. You understand the other party better and their vision for you. So basically, once again, let me also mention that, as I said, no one was giving these questions prior. So everybody's actually, there's no ChatGPT involved. Everybody, don't worry, it was very strictly monitored. I put my eye on the ground. So basically, everybody answered their question from their heart to you. So please take it also from them to your heart, okay? All right, so I'm going to leave you so you listen to the interview right now. Once again, thank you for tuning in to the second episode. I'm really grateful to have you all. And with this, I say bye for now.
What you're about to listen to is the official Scrubbed In radio interview of NUMSA election 2024 presidential aspirants.
Hello everyone, my name is Precious Julius. I'm a 500 level medical student and I am running for president under my team name Alliance of Excellence in the upcoming NUMSA election.
Hello, Precious. It's very great to have you here. So we have a couple questions for you. I hope you're ready.
Yes, I think I am.
All right. So the first question is, what is your vision for NUMSA and how do you plan to make it a reality during your tenure?
Okay, so I have 3 visions, right? And that is inclusivity, guidance, and synergy.
All right.
So how I plan to incorporate this inclusivity. Now it's not just about hosting events for the preclinical and clinical schools to come together, because right now we are divided due to distance of the location of our different hostels. So apart from just hosting events to make sure that everyone is involved in the event, I would also make sure that, because right now the preclinical school, most events are not in their favor due to the date that is being picked for those events.
That's true.
So I would make sure that I have the calendars of every class, and then make sure that whatever action plan the people that I'm going to work with in the nearest future they are coming up with, I would make sure that every event is placed neutrally, that every class will be able to attend. And then I would also create a platform for ideas to be made. because it's not about holding events. It's also about making sure that this event you're holding is what the people want, because they are what make NUMSA. So I would make sure that there's a platform working with the public relation officer that will be open for communication, basically open communication, guardians. So I'm a 500 level medical student, and then I'm not a transfer student like from a different course. I've been here since 100 level, so I know how tough it gets from level to level. So making sure that these 100 level students, giving them orientation, making sure they know what they need to do and what is not so important. The 200 and 300 level students too, and the 400 level students, making sure that we guide them through, like if they are done with like 300 level students now, when they're done with their MB, just giving them a brief of what 400 level is like before they enter 400 level. Basically, orientation for every class, guiding them through the new classes that they are entering. For synergy, like the saying, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So at the end of the day, everything doesn't have to be so serious. So making sure that students are comfortable, because this medical school is a lot and there needs to be a balance. So that is what my vision is, to make sure that there's also that balance between their social life and their academic life.
Thank you very much. All work and no play really makes Jack a dull boy. So we are
Yes.
excited for what you have for us. So the next question is, how do you plan to bridge the gap between NUMSA and the university administration to improve resources for students?
Okay. So I plan on working with the Vice President External Aspirant, Emanuela, in my team to. Right now, I know that our school is not on the USMLE portal, so we plan on speaking to the provost and the VC, knowing fully well that the VC is also a medical professional, a medical personnel. So I know that to an extent that would be easier meeting them, because most I know that writing USMLE is better writing from a school than personally. So making sure that our school now university is also on the USMLE portal, and I know there's something also about sponsorship. So making sure that all those things are in place, and then we have seen from now university's page that they do transfer and exchange from other departments. So working with the vice president external, because that's more of external affairs, we would also talk to the VC and provost to make sure that students that are interested in having all these exchange programs have the opportunity.
Thank you,
Thank
Precious.
you.
Based on the question I asked earlier, it relates to the external activities. So I'm going to ask you
Yes.
another question that relates to the internal activities. How do you intend to improve communication between NUMSA executives and the general student body?
I know that that is one of the major problems also, communication. There's a communication gap. And I know that they're kind of tired of hearing that, oh, we'll try to bridge the gap, bridge the gap. But the public relation officer in my team, Fatima, I plan on working with her, and then the assistant PRO, because the PRO is in 400 level, one of the aspirants, and then the assistant PRO, one of the aspirants is in 200 level. So I plan on working with both of them. One of them, she's an influencer. So she's going to make sure that information is being conveyed to the right targets at the right time, because there's also this thing of, oh, they'll just send an information probably when people are about to, like a weekend before writing exams. Obviously nobody is going to start reading through whatever it is. So making sure that those informations are gotten at the right time is one of our goals as a team.
All right, thank you so much, Precious. Our last question for you today is, what legacy do you hope to leave behind as the future NUMSA president?
Integrity and transparency is what I plan on leaving behind, making sure that in my administration everyone is aware of what's happening, what's going on. Yes, that's basically the legacy I want to leave behind.
All right, is there anything you'd like your supporters and every other person to just have in mind before the election day?
Okay, I just want them to know that the people I have crafted in my team, the people I have put together in my team, I did it strategically. I didn't just pick. Everybody there is competent. So that's what I just want to leave behind, that you should vote for Team Alliance on Excellence, because my team name comes from we all have excellent ideas and we come together to form a team, an alliance, and we hope that we are voted into those positions so that NUMSA would move forward and NUMSA will be better.
Truly, excellence and alliance. I am excited to see the result of the election. Thank you so much, Precious, for having us here.
Thank you for having me too. I'm
Yeah,
very grateful.
pleasure is ours.
Now let's hear from the other aspirant.
Hello and good evening, everyone. I have with me our presidential aspirants for the team polls, Malik Aliyu. Hello, Malik Aliyu. How are you doing?
Hello, Farida. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. It's really good to have you here.
Thank you.
So we have a few questions for you today, and I hope you're ready to answer them.
Well, I feel like I'm ready. I expect to be. I should be ready. So yeah.
Right. That's really good to hear. So my first question for you today.
Okay.
How will you ensure inclusivity and active participation of all medical students in NUMSA activities?
Very good question, Farida. Well, the issue of inclusivity is actually the major complaint among students, and that is actually our primary target as Team Pulse, to ensure that students from all classes are actively involved in whatever we are going to do. So among the plans is, first and foremost, you have to understand the schedule of all students. Students from 100 level to 600 level have a different schedule, which means planning activities becomes difficult because of overlapping timetables. Certain people might be free while others have exams. So the intention is, if we are going to plan these events, we first have to have an idea of how the curriculum of each class is, then plan accordingly, plan in between their curriculum, in between their timetables, in order to make sure that everyone can participate in these events without any worry of exams, and basically performing at their best for these events.
Oh, that sounds like a very detailed plan. Thank you very much. I look forward to that. My next question for you is, how do you plan to bridge the gap between NUMSA and the university administration to improve resources for students?
The issue of NUMSA and the school, I feel like you have to give something to get something. So we, first of all, as an administration, have to prove ourselves to the school. As an administration, we have to prove that we are responsible and we are not just all about games. Yes, we want to play games. Yes, we want to have fun. But at the end of the day, we are a medical college. So we have to prove to the school that apart from the games we are providing, we are also spreading knowledge, awareness, information, encouraging other students to study. So one of the ways we are going to do this is by maybe holding conferences, educational conferences, maybe having pop quizzes between classes. You understand? So it's very important to hold educational conferences to sort of encourage the school to believe in us and provide us with resources when we say we want to perform these games, because there has to be a balance.
Yes.
If it's all about play, the school will feel like, oh, rather we are discouraging students or we are distracting students. But if you include conferences, outreach, quizzes, once you include these educational activities, I feel like a multitude of times when you come for resources to the school, they will be more than willing to support you because of the educational aspect or the enlightening aspect of the work NUMSA as an organization is doing.
Wow, you have to give something to get something. Someone write that down. That was quite a quote. All right, thank you so much. The next question is, how do you intend to improve communication between NUMSA executives and the general student body?
Senators. Every class has about 5 senators. And I feel like one of the faults in past administrations, I mean, they've done a lot of good work, but of course, no one is faultless. One of the faults is the underuse of the senators. Class senators are supposed to be the link, and that is what I intend to do. These class senators are selected by students, yes, which means that these are 5 individuals that students have faith in. So I intend to use these senators as sort of a mediator between myself and the students. So one of the ways is, give you an example. We can have sort of an anonymous link. Students will complain, lay down their complaints, suggestions, ideas in these anonymous links. And then the data will be collected by these senators and be brought to a head of each executive office, depending on whether it concerns you or not. So once you do this, you can, and students will actually feel better, or rather more comfortable complaining to individuals from their class. So they complain to the senators, and then the senators now bring this complaint to us, and we act accordingly. So an integral part of my party, the Pulse, is actually to make use of the senators. So they are actually very important to the change that we intend to bring as a group.
What I took from that is that the Pulse team is looking to use the grassroots.
Yes.
That is the senators. So the second to last question, I would soon let you go, is what legacy do you hope to leave behind as the future NUMSA president?
Honestly speaking, what inspired me to be president isn't about myself. I just feel like a lot of students are interested in games. The medical college is broad. We have multiple students, each with a different characteristic. Some are just in love with books, while some, they do love books, but they also love extracurricular activities. So the plan, or what I intend to do, is at least leave together a feeling of community between the students. Let us feel like brothers and sisters. There shouldn't be a gap between 400 and 500. There shouldn't be a gap between 500 and 300. We should all be familiar with ourselves. We should all know each other, even if we are not friends. But the idea of, I can recognize that face, I know that face from medicine, should be there. So the primary intention is for students to feel safe around each other, be able to reach out to not just students in their immediate class, but students in classes even ahead of them. So it's more of what I just intend to do basically is, let's just be a community, basically. That's just it.
Let us be a community. Is there any word you have for your supporters before election day?
What I have to say is, for those that support us and those that believe in us, thank you very much. We really appreciate your confidence in us and our ability, and we will not let you down. We promise that. And for those that do not support us, we also appreciate you, because both myself and the opposing party wish well for NUMSA. We just have different views on how to attain this. So whichever side you're on, there is no bad side. We have two right sides trying to achieve a common goal, but via different routes. So to everyone, not just my supporters, we wish you guys the best of luck. Keep your heads high, do your best, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Aliyu. That was amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Fareedat.
Vice President, Internal 1. What steps will you take to address students' internal concerns, such as academics, welfare, and extracurricular involvement?
Hello guys, my name is Kolapo Sanyaolu. So I'll be running for the post of Vice President External under the team Pulse. So basically, you said, how do I plan to strengthen the NUMSA relationship with external organization? So when I was talking earlier today, when I was doing my campaign, one of the things I promised is like community reach out to people around communities around Abuja to enlighten them about popular medical conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, hepatitis, and even malaria. About 2 years ago, I was a co-founder of a NGO, which was basically about female menstrual hygiene. So I feel I'm used to different organizations, because during that period, a lot of people actually reach out to me, both government and non-government organization. So with this, my experience, I will be able to find people to relate to. I know how to find people. I know how to get people that have common interests. Thank you.
Great. Now let's hear from the other aspirant.
My name is Emanuela Eshiet, running for the position of the Vice President External under the team Alliance of Excellence. So my question was, how do I plan to strengthen NUMSA's relationships with external organizations and other medical associations? My voice is... How do I plan on doing this? I plan on creating regular events, like joint health events that bring different universities together, like creating congresses where like 500, 600 people that are writing projects in different schools, they can come in together, they will present to a board of directors. If it's nice, it can be published in an international medical magazine. Like, let it be regular, let's create workshops together where different universities and different other hospitals can be a part of, to learn like different skills depending on what is needed, what is liked, what is loved, and what is wanted at that time. So that's what I plan on doing gradually and steadily. Thank you.
Great.
2. How do you plan to engage medical students and improve their participation in NUMSA activities?
Hello, my name is Sanyaolu Kolapo, 500 level medical student, and I'll be running for the post of Vice President External under the POS. So, you asked me what specific projects or external partnership do you hope to establish to benefit the NUMSA member? So basically, as I said earlier, I want to establish a nice community outreach that will benefit both the members and people outside the school. And also, I hope to establish a research group which will be led by our Professor Senon Dane, because I believe it's a very nice thing to publish a research paper even during medical school. And lastly, I want to make sure the medical students, the NUMSA members, are involved in international medical conferences around the world. I want a situation whereby the students will be able to represent the school outside the wall of Abuja. Thank you.
Great. Now let's hear from the other aspirant.
My name is Eshiet, vying for the position of your Vice President for External Affairs on that team Alliance of Excellence. So my second question was, what specific projects or external partnerships do I plan to establish to benefit NUMSA members? Now, this one is funny because my very first plan is plan USMLE. So, according to news I've heard recently, now students can't come out as now students to write USMLE. You have to come out without the organization backing you. And why? Okay, as I'm going to graduate soon, I cannot write USMLE because I'm using the term now, like I'm coming from now medical college. It doesn't make sense. So I plan on breaching that gap because it doesn't need to be there. Let's apply pressure on these people. We need to we need to apply pressure on general medical board, like National Medical and Dental. We need to talk to them, to talk to those USA people because why? We're one of the best doctors in the world and we cannot write USMLE. It doesn't even make sense. Aside from that, I also plan on starting up regular career fairs because this medicine of the thing is very broad. So bringing in all these people from different sections of medicine that can come and explain what's going on to us. Let them teach us okay, we don't obviously teach in-depthly, obviously, but if you want to be a cardiologist now, you can get the gist of it. You want to be an anesthesiologist, you get the basic gist of it. But we'll be getting to be meeting some of our mentors that way. If you want to be mentored, or you want to be a mentee, anyone, you just get to meet who can take you to the next level. You can build connection with people you meet and that can help you further down in your career. So those are the major two I can mention right now. The rest will come in my manifesto. Thank you.
Vice President, Internal, 1. What steps will you take to address students' internal concerns, such as academics, welfare, and extracurricular involvement?
Okay, my name is Alex. I'm representing Team Alliance of Excellence, and I'm running for the position of Vice President Internal, and I'm going to answer some questions. So the first question here is, what steps will I take to address students' internal concerns, such as academics, welfare, and extracurricular involvement? So let me just take each of that separately. So first, for academics, we're currently working on these things called students' checklists. And what inspired me to do this was just looking back at every time I've gotten to a new level and how lost and confused I felt. Like I was class rep for the past 4 years. So imagine me being the, will I say, leader or representative at that time, not knowing what to do or where to go, and questions to ask concerning mainly academics, because we would want to know things like our lecture schedule, our list of topics, our lecturers themselves, stuff like that. And the process of finding these things were always so stressful for me. So my main way of tackling that problem per se is the student checklist. Now with academics, another way that I want to tackle academic concerns is by mentorship programs. So right now, the president and I were trying to revamp the current mentorship program if we are elected. We want to get the current academic schedule for all the levels. We want to work with the course reps, especially to bring about things like Zoom lectures. The main thing is the mentorship program, where we just want to revamp it, make it up to date. We want to introduce things like workshops, for the different departments that we have lectures from. We're gathering resources such as YouTube videos, we're gathering resources such as textbooks, our own personal notes, because we've passed through these levels and stuff like that, to just revamp it, make it a bit more realistic, because I don't think it's like every single topic that we'll be able to run through, but like as much as possible, especially all the important ones, we're going to make sure that the mentorship program covers all of those things. Now for welfare, I was saying that we're trying to basically bring up this thing called regular check-ins, mental health check-ins, and we're going to make it a monthly program. This is an idea produced by the welfare department in my cabinet. So as I was saying, we want it to be monthly, not weekly, because the initial idea was weekly, but we don't think everybody will have that time because we're all medical students, we're very busy. And then depending on the issues brought up by members when they come in for those check-ins, we're always going to do everything in our power to tackle these problems. So now for extracurricular involvement, this is a very big question because it actually hits the point on what we are trying to achieve as a party, because a lot of my members and I have been privileged enough to attend conferences, a lot of seminars, curriculums that we have in this school and things like that. And we've seen that most times when we go, it's usually just us, like our sets and people above. The people that have been coming into the school, they've not been really participating. So I see this issue maybe as a result of the extracurricular activities that were put into place, and also the way at which they were managed. Because I feel like it's not a matter of just bringing up conferences and stuff like that. Are these things interesting for, the students? Is this what students want to do with their free time? Because, time is very important. But basically, to keep it simple, we want to make it fun. We want to make it more attractive. We want to make everything we're doing, especially these extracurricular activities, useful. That's the key point. They're useful. And hopefully these things are enough to pull the students in.
Great. Now let's hear from the other aspirant.
Hello everyone, my name is Whebuma, and I'm aspiring for the position of NUMSA Vice President for Internal Affairs. Okay, so the question is, what steps will you take to address student internal concerns such as academics, welfare, and extracurricular involvement? The steps I intend on taking to achieve this are just basically talking to students, explaining what NUMSA is, first of all, because most of the students don't even understand that. They feel like NUMSA is something distant. They don't know that they are NUMSA. So just being able to communicate with them, being accessible to them so that they are able to lay their complaints either through their senators or like directly become themselves and tell us what is going on with them. So it's just listening to them and taking actions. Thank you.
Great.
2. How do you plan to engage medical students and improve their participation in NUMSA activities?
My name is Tamunosaki Alexander Korubo. I'm running the position of Vice President Internal, and I was asked how I plan to engage medical students and improve their participation in NUMSA activities. Okay, this is a good question. So I feel like the first thing I want to bring up is that in order to engage students particularly, we have to make these activities relevant to them. For example, if we're bringing up workshops or conferences or anything like that, they can't be about or rather they should be about new and emerging topics or things that continue to stay relevant, such as let me say something like our personal hygiene, things like this, like topics that remain relevant. Then for new and emerging topics, we can have conferences about like the implementation of AI into learning, things like that. But like my first point is introducing relevant topics to them and then building our activities around those said relevant topics. The next thing I want to say is that we're students and we have to make learning fun for them. So I would like for us to introduce things such as very short 1 minute videos like TikToks and stuff like that to distribute our information, especially when we're trying to engage them in these activities. They can be skits, anything fun, but like I feel like this will make the environment more fun and it will also engage people more. But then aside making it fun and making it relevant, we have to show them with everything that we plan that we're a very capable organization. So we have to make sure that all our events have a little bit of our, will I say, watermark there. In general, we just have to host our events well because, rather, as we know, we're a new cabinet, we're just coming into power. So I believe that in everything that we're doing, we should be able to coordinate our activities well and just keep everybody in check. Because then I wanted to say a big issue for our students that I've learned of recently and I've also experienced, honestly, is the transportation thing. So, it doesn't have to be just our school buses. We will talk to the school about working with other transportation companies because our number continues to grow, and also to make it convenient for us to invite other members of the school or maybe family members to, come and participate in our activities. Because I feel like going for all these things with a friend or like a familiar face will make it more fun and more enjoyable for the person. Thank you so much.
Great. Now let's hear from the other aspirant.
Hello everyone, my name is Whebuma and I'm aspiring for the position of Vice President for Internal Affairs. So the question is, how do you plan to engage medical students and improve their participation in NUMSA activities? Basically, making everything fun, making everything for everyone, making sure that we inform them ahead of time when it comes to activities. So it's not something that when something is happening, maybe in the next 2 days, we tell them ahead of time so they are able to prepare, and making sure that activities do not fall during exam period so that people won't say they are busy reading, but making sure that everybody is available and making the activities such that everyone can, participate, which is one of our agenda as Team Pulse. We intend to include everyone, inclusivity in spite of our diverseness. Thank you.
Secretary General, how will you ensure proper documentation, communication, and transparency in NUMSA's operations?
Hi, my name is Tosin. I'm from Alliance for Excellence and I'm running for SecGen, that's Secretary General. So the question that you asked, how do I plan to ensure proper documentation, transparency, and communication? My goal for my administration, if I'm elected, is to basically foster member engagement and participation. And those three things, the documentation, transparency, and communication, they are part of what will ensure member participation and engagement. So I realized that a lot of the time, decision-making processes that will affect, all the members of the association are mostly always known to only the ESCOs or some particular people without the information being shared timely, or in fact, they might not even get information at all. It's only when, say, the agenda has been passed, then you just give out instructions to the members of the association to do this and that. So what I want to do is that all the meetings that are held to make those decisions, those meetings where these agendas are passed, I am going to make sure to, record, as is my job, record these meetings and ensure that the minutes of these meetings are available to everyone in the association, and also then conduct surveys, probably via Google Form, something like that, for them to be able to review these decisions and basically give their opinions on what will affect them, because at the end of the day, NUMSA is about everyone. So I also plan to use, say, electronic means and make use of clouds, either a OneDrive cloud or Google Cloud, so that this information can constantly be stored and be easily accessible to anyone that needs it. And also for the transparency, the keeping of those records, they're always very important for comparing and contrasting the past and the present, so that it's not that by just making plans upon plans, we're able to have be accountable. So these meetings where these things are passed, where these decisions are made, we're able to look back on them and be like, okay, so this is how far we have gone, this is the progress that we have made. And then these surveys that I plan to conduct can even, these opinions that people give can even drive the progress for these plans that are made, so that, NUMSA can become better. Thank you.
Great. Now let's hear from the other aspirant.
Hello everyone, my name is Najib Farouk and I'm aspiring to be the new NUMSA Secretary General under the party Team Pulse. So the question is, how do I ensure proper documentation, communication and transparency in NUMSA operations? So as a Sec-Gen, the main thing is actually the documentation, because I am going to be basically recording all the minutes of the association's meetings, including those that are going to be with the House of Reps. So the first thing is, of course, now we have so many online gadgets. I plan to implement them. And at the same time, we also need a visual, physical hard copy as well, because you never lose them. So that's very important. And on the physical hard copies, I plan to add QR codes so that you can easily access the meetings as well. So you can just scan and then, of course, it takes you to the meeting site. And also, in order to maintain transparency throughout the NUMSA operations, we need to actually communicate faster and better, both in NUMSA Exco and in the House of Reps. So monthly, there should be a statement sent to both the House of Reps and even, the senators of each class, so that, yes, you know what we are doing and what we have discussed and who was where and, of course, when. So that is also very important for all the students to be involved in what we are doing. For the communication, as a Sec-Gen, I understand that the role also entails to be an administrative leader within the Executive Council. So I plan to ensure smooth communication and act as a liaison between the Executive Council members, and also a very important liaison and a bridge between the Executive Council and the House of Reps. Because I really think if we connect these two systems, we can actually move forward. Because in essence, what we all want is a united NUMSA, not just, the Executive Council, a united NUMSA, so that we ensure smooth operation, and of course, the implementation of whatever we actually plan. Thank you very much.
Financial Secretary. How do you plan to improve financial literacy and awareness among NUMSA members regarding how their dues are spent?
Hello, guys. My name is Abdulwahab Hassan. I'm a fifth-year medical student of Nile University. I'm a member of Nile University Medical Student Association and an aspiring candidate of the Financial Secretary under the Pulse team, Beating Stronger Together. So how do I plan to improve financial literacy and awareness among NUMSA members regarding how their dues are spent? Actually, I have a plan to work hand in hand with the PRO, how we can socially improve the awareness of the members in this organization. How are we going to do that? We are going to post and also go into every class in order to tell the medical students here that their dues are really important in this organization. How their dues are spent, we are going to create an audit, and we can anonymously take in people from each class, like 5 members from each class, and we are going to audit how their money are spent, like every 2 months. So we have a plan to create a platform, not just a WhatsApp platform, but we are going to create a Google platform where we can audit how much we have getting in and how much we have spent so far. Also, we have a plan on how we are going to segregate their dues. This is the first time, like in the history of NUMSA or NIMSA, that dues have been segregated. For people that are not earning that much, or people that don't want to give the money at once, I have a plan on them paying it in installments, or we are going to segregate the payment. Thank you very much.
Great. Now let's hear from the other aspirant.
This segment was reserved for an interview with the other party's aspirant. However, due to scheduling conflicts and a lack of follow-up, the interview could not be conducted. We at Scrubbed In remain committed to providing a platform for all aspirants and regret any missed opportunities for engagement. Thank you.
Treasurer, how will you manage NUMSA's funds to ensure efficient allocation for events and initiatives?
Good evening. I'm Peter Ameh. I'm a part of the Team Alliance of Excellence, and I'll be running for the post of Treasurer in NUMSA. So, how would I manage NUMSA's funds to ensure efficient allocation for events and initiatives? Well, simply, the association's account is there. So before any event is planned for, we would ask for like just what exactly needs to be bought. We'd get a list of everything that needs to be gotten before the event, and we'll go to check how much it costs to get those things. After we've done our research on the cost and everything, then we would now decide that this is the expected number of people needed for the event. So based on that expected number of people, let's say for instance 100k is needed for an event, and we're expecting at least 50 people. So we'll now say, if we're expecting 50 people, let's just maybe budget for, I think that should be about 2,000 naira per person. After we've gotten that budget set down, we'll now start requesting for funds, and we'll ensure that based on the total amount that is raised, let's say for instance only 40 people end up paying, we'll now readjust our budget based on that, because we can't serve those 50 people that were budgeted for, but so we'll serve those who come, and that goes for any initiative, any event, based off of what we can gather. Maybe for some situations where sponsors give us, the association, some money, then we'd add it, and we'll know that we'll not collect as much from, let's say for that same event that's like 100k, and a sponsor gives us 50k, we'll only collect 50k from the students. And that's just how we do it. Thank you.
Great. Now let's hear from the other aspirant.
This segment was reserved for an interview with the other party's aspirant. However, due to scheduling conflicts and a lack of follow-up, the interview could not be conducted. We at Scrubbed In remain committed to providing a platform for all aspirants and regret any missed opportunities for engagement. Thank you.
Public Relations Officer, how will you improve NUMSA's communication and engagement with the student body?
Hello everybody, I'm Yusrah Ashraf, a 400 level medical student, and I'm contesting for the post of PRO of NUMSA. The question I have been asked is, how would I improve NUMSA's communication and engagement within the student bodies? Well, I believe as a PRO, I need to be more intentional with how information is being passed across all levels. We have enough platforms where NUMSA is registered, but we don't have enough posts that engage the students, and they're not efficiently informed on time for different events and different outreaches or different things they need to be involved in, and that's usually what beats us up. We get information last moment, sometimes we're not prepared for it, sometimes we miss the informations because they may be on platforms we're not active on. So as the PRO, I am really looking forward to engage actively in all those platforms and ensuring that the information reaches everybody timely so we can all benefit from it as individuals and as an association. Thank you.
Great. Now let's hear from the other aspirant.
This segment was reserved for an interview with the other team's aspirant. At Scrubbed In, we prioritize conducting live interviews to ensure transparency and honest answers. Unfortunately, due to the short time frame and the varying locations of some aspirants, we were unable to meet with them for this session. Nevertheless, we commend all aspirants for their dedication and efforts in this election process, and we at Scrubbed In wish them the very best of luck in their aspirations. Director of Socials. What unique social events or programs do you plan to introduce to foster camaraderie among NUMSA members?
Hello everyone, my name is Laura Yerima. I'm a 400 level medical student running for the post of Director of Socials under the team, The Pulse. My question was, what unique social events or programs do I plan to introduce to foster community among NUMSA members? And my answer to that is, I plan to host the first ever NUMSA's Got Talent amongst all of us. I really believe that a lot of us have so much more to showcase other than school, and that's not limited to just singing and dancing. I know there are a lot of people that are good in tech, a lot of people that are good in drawing, a lot of people that just have very diverse talents, and I want to see that, and I hope to create a platform for all of us to display that talent and, just have fun and enjoy ourselves, basically. Thank you.
Great. Now let's hear from the other aspirant.
This segment was reserved for an interview with the other party's aspirant. However, due to scheduling conflicts and a lack of follow-up, the interview could not be conducted. We at Scrubbed In remain committed to providing a platform for all aspirants and regret any missed opportunities for engagement. Thank you.
Hi, I'm back again. I hope those interviews were very useful to you, and I hope you can use the knowledge you got from those interviews to, make decisions, make educated decisions. Because now you can make educated decisions. You will not just go based on looks or based on this or that. This time around, you got it right from the source, and so I hope you can use that to, make your decisions, and I hope it can guide you all. Once again, this was on a very neutral ground, and as I said, every person who spoke from the heart. So I will leave you guys on that. But before I go, I believe we have an interview from the electoral committee chairman. And so we are going to play that for you so that because we've interviewed the people that are the aspirants. We also have to interview the people conducting the election, because we don't want to hear, so and so they stole ballot paper, they carry ballot paper and ran away, something like that. So we want to make sure that we communicate the transparency. I believe they are working very hard, so we have to commend them for doing, because it's not easy, trust me, to just run any election of any skill. So they are doing very well. I'm really happy for them, and I'm really proud of their efforts. I hope that at the end of this election we can all say that this was a free and fair election. So please listen to that, and I would show my face again before you all leave, and we pay some bills with advertisement. So see you. So we have with us today Nadimah, Bello, co-host, but now she's coming in as the electoral committee representative for the upcoming election. All right, so Nadimah, hi.
Hi.
Hi, Nadimah. So we have a few questions for you today. The first question is, how is the electoral committee ensuring transparency throughout the election process?
So thank you very much for that question. So the electoral committee has been ensuring transparency throughout the election process by publishing the election guidelines, the timelines, and the candidate requirements online to the various group chats. And also, regular updates have been provided on the election process through official communication channels, which is the individual group chats for each class of the Medical Students Association. Thank you.
Okay, so the next question I have for you is regarding issues that are very likely to happen during times like this. So how does your committee handle disputes or complaints during election period?
So how the committee handles complaints during the election period is that these complaints are sent to the electoral committee member in each class who forwards it to the MEC. The committee basically then comes together to find suitable solutions for each problems that the voters might encounter for the election.
Okay, I believe the representative of each class is the person that sends broadcast messages about the election. So in case you're not aware who that person is, just check your group chat. You'll be able to identify said person from there, right?
Yes, that is correct. The person that sends the message is usually the class rep or the assistant, but there's also another member of your class that will also be part of the electoral committee. So basically, each class has two people that are like part of the committee.
Oh, that's very nice. So my last question for you today is in what ways is the committee engaging with students to ensure they are informed and involved in the election process?
So the committee engages with students by sending these messages. Like immediately we get the messages, we forward it to the class group so that they are informed on the day-to-day proceedings of the election. And also, another way we ensure that students are informed is by one-on-one conversations, basically. Like, oh, a member of my class can come and meet me. Maybe if they have a question, they can just talk to me directly. And
not through the corners. Sorry.
So they can talk to me directly, and I'll be able to, if I'm able to answer their questions, I'll just tell them directly, face to face.
Oh, okay. All right. So, anything you'd like to say to listeners regarding the votes and just to encourage them that their vote does count?
So please, everyone, your votes do matter because this is a democracy that we're talking about. We need your vote so we can decide on the right future for the Medical Students Association. So please vote for your preferred candidates and bribe the electoral committee.
I wish I could add that. I pay your dues.
Oh, you cannot pay. If you pay dues, you are not really voting again. Sha. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be on this beautiful podcast. I
don't say that because you are a co-host.
Oh, you guys, I'm the co-host.
Thank you, Nadimah, for that. I believe everyone now has a perspective, a point of view from the committee member herself, who is supposed to be the co-host, but we are letting her slide for today. So
due to legal and political reasons.
Due to legal and political reasons, you heard it from her, not me. Thank you so much once again, and see you next time. All right, that was our electoral committee. Thank you very much for allowing us to interview you. I think I should even thank every single person that was that agreed to join this interview, and thank you so much for being so approachable. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and your vision with us. We hope that whatever the outcome is, you are able to still continue with that vision, even with your post or without it. So with that, I'm going to say a very big thank you to everyone who has listened to this. Don't forget, we have the third episode. That is a very exciting episode. Oh my god. I really wish I could tell you what the next episode is about, but I can't. I have been told not to. So I will just keep my mouth shut for now and see you in the next episode. Bye.
Welcome to the SCOF Sanitation and Environment 2024 Teams playlist, where music meets a mission for change. I am thrilled to introduce you to our initiative, the Build a Borehole Project. Our goal? To fund the drilling of boreholes, bringing clean water to communities in Nigeria by the end of the year. It's a lifeline for communities waiting for clean water. Thank you for joining us in this journey. Together, let's make a splash and change lives. Donate to the Borehole Project using the link tinyurl.com/borehole project. That is tinyurl.com/borehole project.
Why are you still here? Don't you got work to do?
This podcast is a product of Kontz Global.